Hey guys, Tyler here, and thank you for checking out this video. And this is a special series requested by you, my viewers, which is going to be complete breakdowns and walkthroughs of my latest Marksman Hunter runs. So all my build information will be on the screen right now, but don't worry if you did miss out on that. All that information, including strings to my build, will be found down in the description of the video. I hope you guys enjoy these runs. Please leave me your feedback down below. I'm always willing to make videos that you guys want to see here on YouTube, and I can help as many marksman hunters as I possibly can. I hope you guys enjoyed this run, and let's go ahead and get to it.
Mr. Eggplant presents.
Alright, so it's been a few weeks, but I am back at it, and I have another higher key for you guys, which is a +22 timed Throne of the Tides. And this is actually the highest throne that we've ever timed so far this expansion, and this is during the Fortified, Afflicted, and Raging week. So we have a really big pull here at the beginning, so I'm going to go ahead and use my explosive shot, follow up with volley, then true shot, and then I'm going to use my rapid fire, aim shot, rapid fire, aim shot, and then just continue to pump as much rapid fires out as possible, and that will continue to give me trick shots the entire time, so I don't have to use a single one of our multi-shots, which saves on those global cooldowns, and then also, what the heck, just does a ton more damage. I think we topped out at like 1.3 million there. I've definitely had some better pulls, including a +22 timed Everbloom that's up on my channel as well, if you guys would like to check that out. And I have updated to a 10.2.5 Marksman Hunter guide, and this was actually still done in 10.2, but we didn't really see any changes in the mini half patch. So in this run, I do 337k DPS overall. Keep in mind, I do have a monk in the group, making sure I do a little bit more damage. And then also we do have an Aug Evoker in Galakron, otherwise known as Glitchy. I'm using my tepid Versatility flask, and my uptime on my my blue silk lining, my double embellishments, was 72.1%, which is actually one of the highest outside of the Dark Heart Thicket that I posted on my channel not long ago in any of my runs. So here we want to go ahead and throw down your binding shot on the snapdragons, and then I usually just cleave off of the Ravager, but I said what the heck, let's go ahead and cleave down these snapdragons as quick as possible so they're not munching on our healers, munching on me. You know, that definitely does hurt. And this is the fortified week, like I said, so this Nazjar Ravager really has a lot of health. There's not a ton of damage that goes out. There's two main abilities that you've already seen: the bolt that throws the poop on the ground, and then there is the cone effect. Just the shots that she shoots, the barrage there, in one angle. So she'll pick one player and shoot at that location. So just make sure that you're spread out, like we are here, around the ad, so more than one person doesn't get hit by it. And who knows, maybe if you're really good, you can bait it out and not take any damage. So there, we're going to finish off the Ravager here and then move up. And so there is quite a bit of trash in between now and the boss. And then there is no trash between boss 1 and boss 2. So my goal, and you see my true shot is up, knowing that we're going to have a double pull. Teach does a really nice job of making sure that we have some really beefy pulls, so I always appreciate that, my friend, if you are end up checking out this video. But this is a really good A-team effort in this run. We have a really great healer in Barry, and Teach is tanking for us and doing some amazing heals on his blood decay. It's always nice to have those grips to make our lives a little bit easier. But here we go, we have a big pull. Unfortunately, I don't use Death Chakram like I should. I should have I should have used my explosive shot, then Death Chakram, then volley, then true shot, rapid fire, aimed, rapid, and so on and so forth. But instead, I missed out on 10% bonus damage on several of those enemies from my salvo explosive shots and my base explosive shots. So that's something that I can always do better, and then just making sure you get that order of operation is the best way to increase your damage, or order of operations correctly, I should say, is the best way to increase your damage on your Marksman Hunter. And since I do have my 4 set, we have a really great opportunity to make sure that we are extending those volleys as much as possible, which also gives us trick shots. So there I threw down my volley and followed it up immediately with a rapid fire to get it on cooldown, to then follow up with an aim shot, which all will cleave, in hopes that I will get the cooldown of rapid fire back. If I do, which I didn't in this one, but I did get a reset, then I can sit there and do it again, and then just increase the duration of the active volley. And you can have some really crazy long volleys. I've had some as long as 45 seconds, so you can really extend that and get some good extension there. So here I got my trick shots and then led with rapid fire. So now I have volley, even if it's on cooldown, which is great. It does damage, doesn't give a salvo, but it does manage to get that free amount of cleave out there, even without volley. And then we don't have to waste those global cooldowns on multi-shot, which is just not doing as much damage there. So I just extended the volley again, so I'm going to try it again. Unfortunately, I don't have an aim shot that's going to get out in time for that to really matter. But we're going to finish off this pack here, and then we're going to have Teach pull the pack out. Now, I don't remember off the top of my head if he ended up pulling all of them. It looks like he does. So we did have a pretty nice pull there, as you can see the wall there. So we have the pursuits going out, so I'm going to go ahead and help out Galakrond and throw down my binding shot. I did a better job in this run, but I can always continue to get better at it. But this is a big pull, so I know I can go ahead and use my cooldowns here, because we have one of the big Ravagers that are going to be padding around, and then we have 3 other packs. So I know that we can use cooldowns. If we would have been in a better position, I wasted the last 7 seconds of True Shot there. I wish we would have been in a position. So by the way, I'm running over there because we had one of the Afflicted that was going out, so we wanted to make sure and you know, not get slowed our casting speed by that. So here we pulled the Dragons and the Ravager. It's a lot of damage, a lot of CC that needs to go out to keep them all in one place. I have a Ravenous Pursuit on me. I throw down my binding, use a couple of my defensives, and then really just kind of hope for the best, because I have a 3-stack, and that stack hurts, and it does. I don't know if it infinitely stacks or not, but I didn't want to find out, and it does a lot of damage. So there, all of the Snapdragons at least don't have a ton of health, and the Ravager still remains. So we're going to whittle down the Ravager's health just a little bit more, and then we should be able to bring her into one of the next packs. So there's the Acid Barrage, so we don't have to worry about trying to bait that for just a few seconds here. We're going to get the Bolt that goes out. Luckily, we don't have too much of melee, so we can just kind of hang out here. And then what I should have done there was not wasted my rapid fire. I should have held it and then was able to extend it here. Is it a huge deal? No, but that's just little things that can help you do more damage. So there, I've used my interrupt already, and the Oracle is the one that does the heal, so you want to make sure and interrupt that. And I did get a reset here. I've just barely eked it in. And then I'm going to try for a 3rd, which unfortunately I don't get. So the Ravager is finally down. It took us way too long to get the Ravager down. But if you notice, we have 3 minutes left on our Bloodlust, on our sated debuff. So at this point, we're trying to figure out, are we using it on boss 1 or boss 2? But we still have a few minutes to think about that, so we're just going to go ahead and do a big pull here. I'm going to go ahead and use my True Shot, and the main reason I'm using my True Shot here is I know that I will be able to, if I use it now, I can use it during the boss, even if it's not the very beginning of the encounter, and have it up for the beginning of the second boss, where we're most likely lusting. That is a group call. Normally, I wouldn't do it that way, but I kind of had a good inkling that that's the way we're going to do. Plus, we have this last pack that we need to pull over here really quick, which will give us a little bit more time to whittle down that cooldown. So there, I did extend my volley, and I'm going to extend it again, use my explosive shot. I got lucky, and then I'm going to extend it again. So I got 3 extensions there. That's pretty crazy, and that was without using volley at all. So there's the real volley that I dropped down. So I essentially just got, close to 20 seconds of volley, and I only threw it down once. But we're finishing off the Witch here, and then the Oracle they're both actually going to to try to heal. Luckily, the one that died was the one that was trying to get the heal from the one that lived. So we have 50 seconds left on True Shot, and we have 80 seconds left on our Sated debuff. So we know that we're not lusting off the get-go. So if we're not lusting off the get-go, we're more than likely not lusting this boss. So here I'm going to make sure I put my Hunter's Mark on it, and then just go to town. I use my Rapid Fire to get it on cooldown in case one of my aim shots did give me a free Rapid Fire, which would then be double tap thanks to our 4-set, and just do more damage. So there goes a volley, then an explosive shot, and then followed up with a Rapid Fire, which will then give us a couple more seconds of volley in hopes to get a reset. Didn't happen, but that's okay. So on this fight, if you guys are unfamiliar, it's changed just a little bit. You want to avoid the geysers. You don't want to stand on top of each other for the Focus Tempest, and this shouldn't one-shot you. I don't know what it would be like on a Tyrannical. I'm going to assume it wouldn't actually kill me, but we also want to make sure and do an interrupt rotation on Lady Nazjar's interrupt. So there's the Focus Tempest, but she only cast it once. Here comes High Tide, where she's invulnerable. Then this is where I use my Misdirect. It's very important to misdirect your tank as much as possible, and then I will use all of my big cooldowns. So here they all come. Everything's all grouped up nice and tight, and then I once again did not use my Death Chakram. I realize I did there, but everything's almost dead at this point. I did manage to get a few more seconds of my Rapid Fire there, or my volley from Rapid Fire, and then my goal now is to try to get the volley on Lady Nazjar. I want to say Nazjatar, but I did manage to get that. So I have a couple more seconds here. I'm going to try to get a reset. I did get a reset, but I wasn't able to use it in time because didn't have enough focus because I had used Explosive Shot first. So what I should have done, hindsight 2020, was do Aim Shot, then Rapid Fire, then Explosive Shot. So here I'm going to go ahead and use my Turtle, but it didn't really matter because she ended up using High Tide. I hate that ability, that circle on you, because it kind of blocks if you have crap on the floor, though, the water. So that's something I wish that they were a slightly different color of blue, or they both didn't look watery, because the electricity in this game does look watery. Has that same blue look. So that's something I wish that Blizzard would change. Maybe they will in the future. But like I said, my goal is to use True Shot at some point during this fight, which I did. We have 30 seconds left on that cooldown. We are going to take down Lady Nazjar. No deaths, and we have our Bloodlust coming up. So that will be that means that we will be using that as I use a defensive. We'll be using that on the second boss. So we're finishing up Nazjar here, one boss down, and we have 65% of our enemy forces, so we're looking really good there so far. 220k DPS overall, and that is a credit to people in the group making me look better than I am, but also good cooldown usage and making sure I had cooldowns and AoE abilities to help out Teach on the boss and on the ads. So here I used my abilities, and I'm going to use that Explosive Shot, Death Chakram, then Volley, then True Shot, then Rapid Fire. And this is what all I'm doing is, now that I put everything out there, I'm going to go Rapid Fire, Aim Shot, Rapid Fire, Aim Shot, Aim Shot. So here's the bubbling fissures. So I'm going to try to make sure I unfortunately used an Aim Shot when I should have used my Rapid Fire, so I did lose my buff there, my volley damage, so that does feel a little bit bad. But we got the knockback, and then here comes the Awakened Ooze, and if you use all of these corners of the room like we are, you don't really have to worry about the ooze at all. I did go ahead and do a little bit of damage to them just to make sure that they were going to stay over there, because they do get rather close, but we didn't end up taking any damage from it. So we're going to drop the fissures here, and then we're going to go ahead and ride the knockback out. I guess I didn't actually take damage, but I did stand in the poop just for a second there. And then I'm going to let the shockwave happen. We're going to take about 50% of our damage. It puts a dot on everybody. And then I'm going to use all of my cooldowns again. I'm going to go Volley, then use my Rapid Fire to get it on cooldown, and then try to get a free one with my any focus ability from my 4-set, or also my Aim Shot, which unfortunately I did not do, but that's okay. So we have the little guys coming over at us here. We just dropped more poop on the ground, and then we are going to have a shockwave. I'm going to go ahead and turtle that. I wish I didn't, because if you if you have turtle and your cheetah up, you can just run through the gauntlet that's right after this, and you don't really have to worry about it. If you're thinking about saving time, that is. I would have only taken 50% of my health and damage. Yeah, it would have been helping my healer out by using my turtle, but I didn't really need it. And plus, Barry is the man. He knows exactly what's going on. So down goes Commander, and now we have a little bit of a gauntlet here, which is new, I believe, that they added. Maybe it's not. I don't even remember. Oh yeah, I forgot. I died. So there was a 1 or 2 deaths in this run, and they were me because Tyler didn't have his turtle, and it really showed that I have not done that gauntlet very much without it. As you can see there, it hit me for 1 million damage. That is so much damage. So this does actually bring my overall damage for the entire run down a little bit, because they're going to be pulling down below, and I'm going to be hanging out up here because I died. So I did manage to get through 2 of them here, and then these light areas here, which I think I almost should have died there. I don't know why I didn't. But the light areas on the floor there dictate where is safe and what isn't. So again, probably should have died again. I didn't actually realize that until I ended up watching this again. So they're doing a big pull here. We're going to go to the left, which is going to be over to the Mindbender fight. And this is the fight that nobody does until this season, because you can pretty much skip it. And I had honestly only done this a handful of times back in Cataclysm. So here we're going to do a big opener again, drop all of our cooldowns, so that explosive shot, then death chakram volley, which I did do right this time, then true shot, rapid fire, and then aim shot, rapid fire, aim shot, rapid fire, until our cooldown, or I should say our buff of true shot is gone. Whenever the watchers have a pull in, and when they do pull you in, you can go ahead and disengage out, and as long as it's safe behind you, it's not a big deal. Otherwise, if you do get pulled in, like for example, we're going to do a double pack here in a second. Whenever there are 2 watchers, they don't do the pull in at the same time. Thank you, Blizzard. So here comes the clenching tentacles. I'm going to use my disengage back, use volley, rapid fire, aim shot, and so on and so forth. Then you can just run through it, and if you just run through and don't stop, you'll be fine. Maybe that's easy for me to say because I have like 18% speed, but I'm pretty sure you'll be fine. So there, we're going to, or I guess if nothing else, you can always use a big cooldown, use your turtle, that sort of thing, if you don't think you're going to leave or live, because a DPS that survives will do more damage than a DPS that dies. And I'm a marksman hunter. I die a lot. Anyway, so we have 1 watcher in here and then 2 seers. The seers have a flay, so you just want to try to interrupt that. And then, luckily for me, there are 3 enemies in this pack, which means I can cleave without needing to use volley. I did end up using volley, but I'm just going to continue to try to cleave, try to get more volley resets. I just missed it there. I had gotten the reset on my rapid fire, but I was just a little bit off, just a second or 2. So my goal here is I have true shot coming up, and now I need to figure out, am I using it now, or am I using it on a certain totem in the boss encounter? And that's an important question that I have to ask myself. And I told myself I'd rather use it on a totem. So here we go, big pull, gonna disengage back, use all of my cooldowns, and by all of them I mean I don't have volley up, but it doesn't really matter since there's more than 1 enemy here. There's the second pull, so I'm gonna go ahead and just run straight back. I'm fine. Here comes volley. Then I'm going to go aim shot, rapid fire, aim shot, rapid fire. And then we just absolutely dumpstered a lot of these ads. And we're doing some really great damage in our entire group. And again, have to give him his flowers. Glitch makes me look really, really great in this run. That coupled with Teach's desire to make sure and do big pulls. So always a pleasure to run with everybody in this group. So here I have little more than a minute left on my true shot, and we have 4 minutes left on our sated debuff. So I know in my head we are not pulling, or we are not lusting this boss, because we can't. So here I have a minute left, so I know that I'm just going to use all of my damage cooldowns I can. Yeah, it does hurt my single target damage here because I don't have my true shot, but that's okay. So I saved my AoE abilities to make sure I could hit the totem and the stone speaker. That's important. And then here comes Earth Fury, so you just want to slowly move here. Unfortunately, I kind of almost baited Barry there, so that's a big apology on my part. But we're just going to continue to do damage, and I'm thinking about what I'm going to do for the next totem, because the totem will kill your tank. So there's the totem. I had a rapid fire for it. I'm going to follow up with an aim shot and then an explosive shot. Luckily for me, the explosive shot still goes off even if the enemy dies, so at least we hit Stone Speaker with it. I was just a little bit off timing-wise, unfortunately. So here comes the Earth Fury, and then I believe it's either at 25 or 30%. I believe it's 25. The Mindbender comes off of Stone Speaker here, which is actually the real boss. And then here's the big true shot. So I knew we were going to have it up for a totem, so I saved it for the totem. All of my Witherbark's branches, water droplets came in at once, and now I am absolutely pumping the damage. So we did, Tipsy's doing some really great damage. She did a really nice job in this run, and she survived me being able to try to catch up to her. So that's a credit to the kind of damage that she was doing in this run. So here we go, we got to 25%. Here comes Mindbender, and the first thing he's going to do is a Terrifying Vision. So you have to make sure and go line of sight there. I always like to go Mechanome just to be safe, because if you are tall and you go behind those corals, you can actually get hit by that. For example, if you're a Tauren, you have a chance of actually getting hit by that, even though you are in safety. So I throw down my volley, and we are finishing off. So we have almost 100% crit chance right now. In fact, I have a 42% base, and then we have 30% from our stacked bullseye, and then we have we had a 10% bonus from our true shot. So we did a lot of damage there at the very end, and then like we don't just rely on kill shot to do that last bit of damage. Execute damage, that was the term I was looking for. So here the dreaded hallway is ahead of us on the way to Azumat, and we have 14% of our forces left. We're pretty close on forces, as in like there's not a lot of extra that we had to kill. This is a big pack, and there's another big pack of these later on in the dungeon. So you want to try to interrupt the Aqua Mages, because I got lucky there. I saw that I was the one being targeted by multiple, and they were going to be raging. So that would have been, at least I don't think the raging does extra damage now, but they can't be knocked up, which is something that Galakron does, for example, to try to keep them CC'd or stunned for that matter. So we just want to kill those mages, because they do a ton of damage to your group, and they can just flat out one-shot people on a fortified week, particularly at a 22 or higher. So we pulled in this sentry here, and the way the sentry works is they have this swell ability, and whenever you kill the little dudes around it, they put a little debuff. I forget what school of magic it is. It can be purged off. Maybe not, the purge isn't the right word, but it can be removed from certain casters and healers. I think it's a disease. I think that's what that color around it is. Anyway, whenever these corruptions die, they make you take more damage from the swell, and it's pretty significant, particularly when there's a double swell that happens at the very end of this section. Luckily for us, whenever the sentry dies, it does spawn the little dudes, but whenever there's the two sentries at the very end, once you kill the first one, there's not little dudes that spawn afterwards. So here, we're just going to do damage again. I'm going to cleave off of the nearest Aquamage and just absolutely obliterate them. I'm knowing that I need to be using cooldowns now or risk just holding them and losing a full rotation usage out of them. That's one of the big things too, if you guys are struggling on your Marksman Hunter, is just, I would suggest to you, rip your cooldowns. As soon as they come up, just rip them and get in the habit of using them. I would rather say I use them too much than not enough. Now that does go to say you want to make sure and have them up for priority pulls, and I wouldn't even say I'm like super knowledgeable about Throne of the Tides. This is one of those dungeons that I haven't actually done a ton. I think I've done it three or four times, and only one other time at a 22 or higher. We had an untimed 23 that we did a couple weeks before this one. So it was good to get back there and make this key our own, that's for sure. But here we're pulling all the way to the Aqua Mage. You want to make sure and stay away from the water that we just passed. It would have been behind me now, because that's where all these little dudes continue to spawn. And then you don't want to pull to the wall or to the gate, because you'll die to swell, because we're taking a lot of damage. The Aqua Mages are getting interrupted quite nicely, so that was a great job from our group, and at least being knocked back, stunned, just chain CC'd. Unfortunately, we did lose our healer Barry there, but we made quick work of the rest of the packs, so it did not really matter, although I could have easily died there, since they were both targeting me. Barry got up there with his Ankh, and now we have the final pull of the dungeon before we get up to the final boss. And looking at the timer, we have plenty of time. No reason to do anything sketchy. No reason to do anything crazy. And we're not going to do that. I'm going to use my defensives, you know, if I had them, outside of Turtle, I suppose. I could use that if I need to, if there's going to be a double swell, because there's going to be one swell here, and then towards the end of this swell, as you can see, you'll start to see the second swell. So here, I should have done a good job. I should have been a good DPS and used my Turtle, and I didn't. I just wanted to make sure that things died, and I don't know, we didn't die, so I guess it's not that big of a deal, but there is a you know, a world where I could have, and that's also a credit to how much versatility I have. And see here, I made a point to say that here. I would have died there, most likely, had I had not had a large amount of versatility that I had with a versatility flask. So there is some merit to having a high amount of versatility, which lowers the amount of damage that you take. We already have like paper skin, so if you want to take less damage, have more versatility in your build. You still do good damage with it, even if you're sacrificing, you know, some mastery, for example. So here, going to use cooldown's going to avoid this frontal, and then I'm just going to pop off and do all the damage I can while the ground is being cleared out. So we have the little ads that are going to spawn here. So I should have not used misdirect right at the beginning. I should have misdirect here. I did not. That way you could get all of those enemies on your tank. But I absolutely massacred them. All that big pull in from Teach meant that I could just spray on all of those guys. I literally just go multi-shot and then just pound them with a rapid fire, which will then give me the 6 seconds of volley, and then I can follow up with an aim shot. So I should be using a defensive here. Luckily I don't, because it's a fortified week. And then here, if you are clearing with the water, you want to stay together. It clears those very, very quickly. Try to get as much cleared as we can. Here comes the next set of ads. Gonna use my misdirect, get the sludge, throw down the volley, go aim shot, hoping to get that rapid fire freebie, the proc of the free rapid fire. It didn't happen, but actually no, it did happen, but it wasn't when I thought I was going to get it, but it worked out because the ads did stay up a little longer. So I used my disengage there to make sure and get out of the crap, and then we have 35 seconds ish left on our true shot, so I'll have it up for the Azumat, but you know, it doesn't really matter. We just need to make sure and clear the poop as much as possible, use my misdirect on the ads, and then just cleave off of the ink of Azumat. That sludge that was over there hitting Galakron, I should have been attacking it with my misdirect up, so I would have put that over onto Teach. That's my bad on that, and I actually walk out of the totem there. Live and learn. I already had an idea of what I was doing in my head, and I put myself in a bad situation over here. I don't know why I'm over here, but I am. I'm far away from my healer. I don't know what I was thinking there. It must have been really late at night. No, it wasn't. It was 8 o'clock. Never mind. Well, I have my true shot up. We're going to finish off Azumat, and you just do a ton of damage to Azumat. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Consider subscribing if you haven't already, and be sure and follow me over at Twitch at twitch.tv/MrEggplant. It's always a pleasure to make videos for you guys. I really, really appreciate it. Please leave me your feedback down below. I would encourage you guys to leave it down there. Let's talk amongst ourselves. How do you guys like these so far? I'm getting very close to 3K IO. That's my goal this season. We'll see if we can get there. I haven't done a lot of keys these last couple of weeks, so I've kind of stalled out a little bit. But thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.